What's up? Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope all is groovy with you all on this fine day. I don't have terribly many announcements to make today. Just obviously, please do complete the Theoria and Flipgrid submissions for today, Tuesday, October 27th. Please have them in by 2 p.m. on this very fine afternoon. You'll eventually find yourselves in. For Theoria, again, we're working with the new grading schematic. So if on the Theoria exercise you get a final grade of somewhere between 100 and 81, I'll round that thing up to 100. If you get between an 80 and 51, I'll round that to an 80. 50 and to 0, you'll get a 50. And if you don't do it, you get a 0 for your grade, which would suck. Please don't do that. Please complete it. What else? That's all I've got. I'll just get into what we will do in the video. Talk about some rhythmic shenanigans, more Takadimi, and further adventures of Takadimi, as well as some minor key melodies. But here we go. Please turn to page, what page are we at? Please turn to page 55 for the first round of exercises. So, page 55, what are we looking at here? This looks a little different from what we've seen before. Instead of 3/4 time or 4/4 time, where the quarter note is acting as the beat unit, we're working in 4/8 and subsequently 3/8 time, where the eighth note is going to be the beat unit. This doesn't change anything about how we articulate Takadimi. It doesn't change anything how we count. We're just looking at a different unit for the beat value. So taking a look at number 4, we're in 4/8 time, which again, we're in simple time. And so this is literally the exact same as 4/4, except instead of thinking of the quarter note as the beat unit and the eighth note as the first level of division, we're looking at the eighth note as the beat unit and now the 16th note as the first level of division. So let's go ahead and Takadimi this. Take a look at the first line here of example number 4. Okay, so let me just Takadimi this line just so you get a sense of what I'm going for here. Go 1, 2, 3. Ta 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 di ta di ta 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 di ta di ta di ta ta. Cool. It's as simple as that. So I'm not trying to subdivide in any crazy way. I'm literally just thinking of this eighth note as the new beat unit and these 16ths as the division. This seems very straightforward, and it is very straightforward, but this is one of those instances where our eyes and our brains can kind of play tricks with us, tricks on us, I meant to say, because Halloween, trick or treat, whatever. So yeah, this is where our eyes and our brains might try to deceive us a little bit and think like, oh, we're at Ta D because we're at eighth notes, then 16th notes. Oh God, what are we doing? It's really not that bad. We're literally just thinking of this as the beat unit. So whenever we have a quarter note, for example, since a quarter note takes up the space of 2 eighth notes, we're going to think of this as just an extended 2-beat ta kind of extension. Enough of me talking. Let me Takadimi the entirety of number 4, including the repeat on that second line. 1, 2, 3. Ta 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 di ta di ta 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 di ta di ta di ta 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 di ta 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 di ta 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 di ta 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 di ta ta. Repeat. Ta 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 di ta 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 di ta 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 di ta 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 di ta ta. As easy and straightforward as that. Exact the same idea for example 5 down here. 3/8 time, literally just thinking as just like 3/4 time, except obviously again the eighth note is acting as the primary beat level. So number 5. 1, 2. Ta ta di ta 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 di ta di ta. Ta di ta 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 di ta ta di ta 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 di ta. Just like that. Again, we're not trying to think of anything differently. As long as I have the bottom number of the time signature giving me what the beat value is going to be, all is groovy. There should not be any issues with that. Another thing with all these simple meter Takadimi examples, just like these or any of the ones we've looked at previously, 4/4 time, 3/4 time, what have you, I do want you to start conducting these now. We've had a couple of weeks of these. These should be feeling pretty good. They should be feeling pretty confident. You should be confident auditing them and placing everything within each respective pulse and beat group. So I do want you to conduct along with these. So quick review for conducting in 4. We go 1 is just going straight down, 2 going inside, 3 is going out, and 4 returning back up. For examples in 3, we'll go down for 1, out for 2, back up for 3. So we always have the sense of downbeat is going down, and the last beat of a given measure, whatever that happens to be, will be the returning back up. So please do work on these with conducting, these simple meter examples with proper conducting. We will be using that for oncoming Flipgrid homework assignments and Flipgrid submissions for the assessments, certainly. Cool, so that's all the stuff I want to talk about with simple meter today. Now I want to talk about compound meter. Let's get into that a little bit. So we're going to get into elements of simple versus compound meter, especially in relation to Takadimi. I'm quite certain that you probably already discussed this in music theory class, or you could have possibly discussed this in your pre-Western Carolina University musical lives. But just to clarify, especially how we relate with this to Takadimi, with simple meter, time signatures like 4/4, 3/4, 2/4, we are dividing the beat into 2. So that division level, that initial division level, is divided into 2. So taking a look at this on the screen right above here. So our beat level, of course, is the quarter note. And since our division level is initially at a level of 2, that means we're going to divide that quarter note into 2 eighth notes. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Because again, simple meter is dividing that beat into 2. Compound meter is a little different. And by little, I mean fairly different. With compound meter, we're going to divide that beat level, that primary beat unit, into 3. Okay, so we'll usually look at time signatures like 6/8, like we see up here, or 11/9/8, or 12/8. But however you divide it up, we're going to be looking at dividing that primary beat level into a division of 3. Okay, so for example, if we're in 6/8 as a time signature, we'll have 3 eighth notes that we'll use as that division level, and which means we can group those beats into 2 beats per measure. Because we're doing this at the eighth note level for the division, for 6/8 we'll group 3 of those eighth notes together into a dotted quarter, which of course I'm sure you all know that's how note rhythm math works. Woo. So 6/8 time, we'll have the primary beat level at dotted quarter notes. So for this first example, we would count 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 just like that. Now, and I should say, again, the downbeat of every beat will always be ta. I promise you, it will be ta. Now at that division level, where we actually divide that beat into its 3 division units, we are going to change the Takadimi syllables a little bit. This is where things get a little complicated, a little nuanced. You do not have to conduct these compound meter examples just yet, because they're new, and I want you to get comfortable with the syllables and how the syllables work and how that beat divides. But enough rambling. At the division level for compound meter, we'll divide those syllables as ta, ki, and da. So this line right here, this is also in 6/8. Sorry, the time signature didn't carry over, but because we have 2 primary beats in 6/8 time, we're going to keep the sense of conducting or sequencing the measure in beats of 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if we apply the Takadimi syllables, we'll think 1, 2, 3. Takida, 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 1, 2, 3, Takida, 1, 2, 3, Takida. So that example up here, that second example on the page, kind of like this: 1, 2, 3. Takida, 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 Takida. Just like that. Let's look at a couple other examples. I'm going to jump over to page 41 to look at some of these examples in compound meter. Cool. So bottom of page 41, we're looking at examples 1, 2, and 3. Let's take a look at the first example here, number 1 in 6/8 time. Again, so 6/8, and in compound meter, we're grouping, we're dividing the beat into divisions of 3. So with 6/8 and dividing things into 3 and math, that means we have 2 primary beats per measure. So let me Takadimi along with this number 1. Once you're comfortable with this, please feel free to follow along. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta ta takida takida ta da takida ta 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 takida 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 ta takida ta ta. Very straightforward. Take a look at number 2, again in 6/8. 1, 2, 3. Ta 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 takida ta 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 takida takida ta. Like that. I feel very silly just Takadimi all these examples by myself here. Sorry, it's funny to me. Number 3 at the bottom of the page, obviously you can't see it because I'm there blocking that part of the page. So please check this out in your textbook. We're in 9/8 here, for example, number 3. So again, because of math, we can divide and work out that we'll have three primary beats in this example. So we're going to we're going to conduct just like we're in 3/4. Think 1, 2, 3. Well, of course, because we're in compound meter, rather than think 1 and 2 and 3, and we're going to divide each of those beats into 3. So 1, 2, 3. So let me talk to you that. You'll notice in the textbook there's a caesura, or kind of like a pause moment. Second line, second measure. I'm going to ignore that. I'm just going to go straight through. And I'm just realizing that number 2, I ignored the repeat sign there. So in the name of I'm going to ignore the repeat sign in number 3 too. I hope you're having a better day than I am. So number 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ta 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 takida ta takida takida ta 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 takida takida ta takida ta silence takida ta. So that is Takadimi and compound meter. So just change that tadi to takida to accommodate for this division of 3. I'll have some examples for you to look at the end of this video. I'll discuss them, but do note that for the compound meter examples, you do not need to conduct. Again, this is new. We're just getting accustomed to this. But for the simple meter exercises, I do want you to conduct because we've been doing this for a number of weeks now. So do please keep that in mind. That's it for the Takadimi shenanigans. Please turn to page 241 for some minor key melodies. Cool. So page 241, let's start by looking at example 28 right up there. We are in the key of, actually, I want you to say what minor key this is. Literally say it out loud. 1, 2, 3. What minor key is number 28? And if there's anyone else in the room with you right now, I hope they turn to you and ask, what do you mean A minor? Because it is in the key of A minor. For a lot of these examples, I do want to respectfully quiz you on what minor keys we're looking at, but that is a Thursday problem, not a Tuesday problem. So example 28, we're going to sing this example here. Well, you're going to sing this example here. And there's going to be your do. Cool, so here's tonic. Okay. Take note of what pitch you're starting on with that pickup note right there. I hope you know that you're starting on sol. Here's tonic. Take a second, pause the video, audiate this example. Okay, let's give it a shot. So there's tonic. Hear that first pitch. I'll give you a full measure, and then I'll give you 3 beats as the count-in before that pickup right there. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Cool. So hopefully that was straightforward. I'm only going to do 2 examples on this video. I'm going to do 28, which I obviously just did, and I want to look at example 29 as well, and think about what key, what natural minor key example number 29 is. And hopefully you've deduced it is in the key of G minor. That's either through knowing the key signatures, knowing how the key signatures function, or if you just look at the line, you'll see there's a lot of focus on G at the downbeat of the first full measure, and that we eventually resolve on the note G at the end there. Cool, so example 29. Nonetheless, let's use this same tonic reference. Let's use this as do once more. So using this as tonic. Again, note that we're starting on a pickup here on beat 4, but we're starting with the same note sol for that pickup. Here's tonic. Take a moment, pause the video, audiate their melody. Okay, let's try it. I haven't practiced this yet on the keyboard, so let's see how this goes. There's tonic. I'll give you full measure and then 3 beats before the pickup on 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Groovy. So that got a little low. So we have an extended range here. Our lowest note is actually fa right there on measure 3. And of course, our highest note is going to be sol up there in a few of those measures there. Both of these melodies, please feel free to rewind the video. Please feel free to sing them back. Again, using proper solfege and those modified syllables for the minor key. We'll look at a few more of these examples on Thursday, but now you know where this is going. Grab some transcription paper. It's time for a transcription exercise. God, I'm tired. Okay, good people of MUS 108, you know the drill. We'll have 3 melodies today. Here is the first one. Take your time setting this up, however you want to set it up with the staff and the shorthand. Key of A minor, starting on tonic. Tonic pitch of an unidentified rhythm as of yet. Treble clef, 4/4 time. Pause the video. You know what to do. Cool. So I'll give you 3 hearings of each of these melodies, and of course, as always, please feel free to rewind the video and re-hear these examples as many times as you would like. First example, we're in the key of A minor, and there is our first pitch. Okay, first hearing, we'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Second hearing, 1, and 2, 3, 4, and. And finally, the third hearing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, feel free to rewind and listen to those as many times as you would like, but this is what y'all heard. This is the melody y'all heard. Let me play it again, and as always, if you're feeling good about this, I highly encourage you all to sing along with this as I play it, using solfege, the correct solfege syllables, I should say. 2, and 3, and 4, and. That's voila. Cool. Next example, go ahead, pause the video to set this up. Another 4 measure example, 3/4 time, bass clef, key of G minor. Okay, so G minor, here we are, and here's going to be our first note. Okay, same thing, we'll give you 3 hearings. 1, and 2, and 3. Okay, second hearing. 1, and 2, and 3. And final hearing. 1, and 2, and 3, and. Okay, take your time, rewind if need be, but whenever you're ready. That's what y'all heard. Again, let me play this one more time. If you feel good about this, feel free to solfege along. Here is tonic. There's your do. So we'll go 1, and 2, and 3. Excellent. One more example. This one might be tricky. So we've just been doing transcriptions in simple meter. Let's do one in compound meter. Okay, we're in 6/8 time here, key of E minor. Now check us out. So I don't know what shorthand system you've become accustomed to, what you're comfortable with. For this, I put 6 lines. Yes, 3 times 2. 6 lines above this first measure here, which you could do exactly the same for each of these measures. Obviously, each line representing one division level, so 1/8 note possibility for each of these 8th note divisions, and each measure here. Whatever works for you, please feel free to do. But as you see, clearly we're going to have an articulation on the downbeat. So I marked a little check here for the articulation, and D for do, because I know I have that first tonic pitch right there. So take your time, set this up. Again, this is new, but things have been moving along pretty smoothly thus far this semester. And as we get closer to the end, I do want to push things a little bit. I do want to try to push you outside of your comfort zone and what you might be familiar with bit by bit. So pause the video, set this up. Okay, let's do it. So we're in the key of E minor. There's tonic. All right, first hearing. I'll go da, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I had a little rhythmic hiccup there. So I know you can rewind this. Actually, let me give you 4 hearings total because I had that little hesitation, a little pause there. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that was first hearing redux. Now here's for the actual second hearing of this. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and the last hearing for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, as always, rewind as need be, but this is what y'all heard. Okay, as always, feel free to sing along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's that. Wasn't too bad, right? That's it. Yeah, so hope this video was helpful, informative. If compound meter is still a little murky, obviously we're going to go over this very concept on Thursday. Cool. So for Thursday, a couple pages, a couple melodies I'd like for you to check out. Melodies and rhythms, I should say. On page 42, please check out the rhythms number 5 and number 8. On page 55, please check out rhythms number 6 and number 7. And on page 241, check out the 2 melodies that actually we looked at on the video, numbers 28 and 29. I know that seems like quite a bit of material, but we're going to go over it bit by bit. Obviously, again, my biggest concern is just that you're feeling comfortable with this material. If you have any questions, any concerns whatsoever, please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to set up an office hour through Zoom if you'd like. Again, there's a lot I still want to cover before the end of the semester. We'll actually have the next assessment, assessment number 3, coming up the following, next week, next Thursday, November something. I think it's the November 5th. November 5th. Yes, so we'll be doing that later on. More information about that on Thursday's class. But yes, please check out those pages and those examples. Again, page 42, examples number 5 and number 8. On page 55, numbers 6 and number 7. And on page 241, examples number 28 and 29. Don't forget to do the assignments for that are due today. The Theoria and Flipgrid assignments, please complete them before 2 o'clock. That is the deadline. Email me if you have any problems, questions, comments, concerns, and vote. Vote, damn it, vote. That's all. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you later. Take care.